Here. Broom.
Here.
Taylor. Here. White.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Would everyone please rise for the presentation of colors from the Naperville Honor Guard.
Honor Guard. Attention. Port arms. Present. Arms.
I pledge allegiance
Order. Arms. Colors. Colors turn. Forward. March.
Thank you. You may be seated. Our first order of business this afternoon is to hear from our outgoing city council members. And we will start today with Councilwoman Roseanne Taylor. Councilwoman Taylor?
Thank you, Mayor. When I ran for city council back in 2021, I ran because I wanted residents to feel heard. As someone who attended city council meetings years before I ever decided to run, I understood the frustration that some people had when they reached out to council. One of my goals when elected was to ensure that everyone received a response, whether it was a reply to an email, a phone conversation, meeting a resident at their home or a business, or grabbing a coffee. Even with those who did not agree with a vote of mine, I still spent the time walking them through why I voted the way I did. I'm proud that I fulfilled this goal, because having this dialogue, this conversation, even in times of disagreement, especially in times of disagreement, is important both on council and in life. I'm also proud that while on council that I constantly reached out to my fellow council members and talked, formed relationships, found common ground. I listened to different viewpoints on an issue, and at times based on those conversations changed my position. And I'm especially going to miss those conversations with you, Patrick. I'm particularly proud that I maintained my independence while making decisions. I never ran on a slate and I never voted in a block. When I ran in 2021, I promised the voters that I make my decisions based on facts, research, and speaking to residents, business owners, and staff, and not because someone told me how to vote behind the scenes. And I fulfilled that promise. I represented our entire community, whether a resident voted for me or not. No one owned my vote, and every decision I made was for the best interest of Naperville, even if that vote hurt me politically. I am proud of my record, and I have no regrets. The entire time I was up here, I was impartial. I did not allow others to define who I am. I believe in Naperville. I fought for this city before I was elected. I fought for this city while sitting on this dais, and I will continue to fight for this city in whatever role I have in the future. I helped make Naperville be the greatest city in America, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that we continue to have that reputation in what I do next. I want to wish our next council good luck. They have a lot of hard work and tough decisions ahead of them. Thank you all, and goodbye.
Thank you, Councilwoman Taylor. I'd like to present you with your nameplate as a memento of your time here on the City Council.
I had to come in front. Sorry. Forgive us. Thank you.
And next, we'll hear from Councilman Leon.
Hi, everyone. I'm really glad to see everyone here today. Normally when we have this full of council chambers, they're coming after us or something. I've been struggling with what to say during the speech, and I've been giving these speeches for a while. I've been asked a lot what I'm most proud of as I step down from the council. And I've pondered this at length, and what I'd like to say is, as I joined the council, I said, Naperville is a great town, and most everywhere you look, it's in great shape. And I hope I can serve in a way where I don't mess it up. And I've tried to do that, and I think after 4 years, I left it as good or better than when I found it. For the last 2 years, we've been still one of the best places to live in America. We have a sound surplus in our general fund, a AAA bond rating, and so forth. And I'm very proud of that. So, as I leave the seat to some new council members, I'm going to quote myself again and say, I'm acutely aware of how few people vote in local elections, and the number of people that voted for me is even smaller than that. I'd like to remind inbound council members that it is their job and my commitment to represent everyone, regardless of if they voted for you or not, or didn't vote at all. So, good luck to all. Thank you so much.
Councilman Leon, I have your nameplate as well as the memento of your time on the City Council.
I'm sorry, one more time. Thank you.
Anyone who takes a chance to run for office puts themselves in an arena, and they never know what the outcome will be. They try, some successful, some not successful. But serving your community is the utmost give you can provide back. And with regard to Councilwoman Taylor, Councilman Leon, I know you served hard and got through a lot of difficult decisions here at the Naperville City Council, and we're true representatives of the community, and we are proud of you. At this time, any other council members, if they would like to say their remarks about the outgoing council members? Councilman Ozark.
Thank you, Mayor. 4 years ago, almost to the day, we sat up here at a very different time. It was the middle of COVID. We were masked. We had glass barriers between the seats. And I sat together with a fellow class of 2001 high school graduate down there, Councilwoman Jennifer Taylor, at what was then affectionately known as the kids' table, because we were the junior members of the council. I will say that during that time, we spent a lot of time together doing homework as new council members, visiting exciting places like our water reclamation facility, learning about the budget. And I can sincerely say she's one of the very smartest people I've ever known in my life. I was working with her very much, and I know she'll continue to do great things in our community. Councilman Leong also came on board at that time, the first Chinese American ever elected in Naperville community, which has long been a strong part of the community here in Naperville, and for the first time saw representation. Somebody who was dogged in his support of fiscal discipline, and somebody who always fought his hardest. I will miss having you around, and thank you so much for your service to the city of Naperville. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Echoing some of the mayor's comments, anyone that runs for this office and serves up here, whether you agree with the positions or if you like them personally or not, I think they all deserve the respect of putting that work in and the time in, everything that goes along with it. Councilwoman Taylor and Councilman Leong, I knew met for many years before they served up here, and they're very different individuals, but in a lot of ways, I saw a lot of similarities. I'll start with Councilwoman Taylor. So I got to know Councilwoman Taylor when she was, the big controversy over whether or not Naperville should have marijuana dispensaries in town. I'm honest, I was a little bit ambiguous, or I didn't really take a stand on it, but she did. I remember hearing about, who's this Jennifer Taylor? Who's this Jennifer Taylor? This opt-out, who is this person that's running all over town? Everybody's talking about Jennifer Taylor. And I really respected and admired her kind of leading the charge on something that was really controversial. I mean, half the town was really for something, and the other half of the town was against it. And a lot of times when you see people who are sitting up here on the dais, they didn't think they were going to be politicians. They didn't think they were ever going to serve on a city council. But they saw something that they cared about in their town, and they decided that they were going to take the risk and they were going to lead on it and be careful. So if you ever get in the middle of a controversial issue, you might end up being up here. But so I see her as a real independent thinker, someone who tackles things that are important to her, no matter if she's going to have people that are upset with her. And I saw her, learned a lot from her as I came on as a new council member. She's an independent thinker, and we would have disagreements on things. And it's like, why can't you just see it my way, Jennifer? She would make an argument to me, and it would make a lot of sense. And sometimes she'd change my opinion. So I really enjoyed having the ability to disagree sometimes and get along and be friends while you do it. So, having independent critical thinkers up here, I think is really important. I think we're in an area where that type of candidate maybe is not as popular anymore. I hope that's not the case, but she didn't vote in a block. She did not look to appease special interest groups and political parties, and maybe that hurts you a little bit politically. But I have enjoyed my time working with Councilwoman Taylor. She is very meticulous, so I would read agendas, but then I would check with her to make sure that there's anything that I missed. So we'll miss having someone up here that was as detailed and thoughtful and as questioning as councilman. So thank you for everything you've done, and I have no doubt that we'll Councilman Leon, I got to know him back in, when he was on the 203 board. And Paul was a bit of a contrarian there on that board. And I like contrarians. I like people who just don't go with the crowd. And I had a lot of opinions about school closures during COVID. And he had the courage to speak up at a time where it was very difficult to speak up about kids being in school and things of that nature. Like Jennifer, he was very much an independent speaker, thinker up here. I didn't always agree with him, but I knew where he stood, and you know, he stuck to his principles, and sometimes ended up in the minority vote quite a bit. So very different individuals governing up here, but very similar in many ways. I think we are losing some independent thinkers, critical thinkers up here, and I'm very optimistic about the new council, but I think we are losing some very good servants of our community, and I appreciate all that you guys have done. And like Jennifer, Paul, I know you're going to be around. You care about your community, and that won't end. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Councilman Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. I've gotten to know Councilwoman Taylor and Councilman Leon, I guess going back when they originally ran and I was running for park board at the time. They were successful in their bids to get on the city council. And then, you know, I turned around a couple years later to try to join them, having learned quite a bit from them. Just some of the remarks I just that Councilman Taylor had talked about, I can certainly attest to just her willingness to talk to residents, look into various sides of whatever issue may be. I can certainly attest to her really digging into whatever concerns residents may have or staff may bring forward. That if I misunderstand something, she'd be happy to clarify that for me, or talk about her as the former Cook County prosecutor, her experience with that. So, and certainly get into disagreements where those may lie. So, I've certainly enjoyed my experience working with her here, and then similarly getting to know Councilman Leon. You know, and he can certainly attest to his ability to bring money back to the taxpayers on the school board, and similarly his concern and discipline for fiscal responsibility up here is something we all ought to learn from, and take his words into consideration when thinking about future budget considerations. So I'm happy to hear those remarks in my head when looking at any issue going forward, and hopefully we can all do that. So optimistic about the new council coming on. Certainly, it's sad, I guess you could say, to see the outgoing folks no longer be here with us any longer. So thank you.
Councilwoman Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to wish the best to Paul and Jennifer. I enjoyed sitting next to you, Paul, commiserating about our commutes. So I wish you safe and speedy travel in the future, and I hope that we will be able to deliver you some better bikes and routes. When we talk about the pedestrian plan later on this year, I will be keeping you in mind. Jennifer, we first met in 2016 about the Fifth Avenue development, and I have no doubt that we will see you at the podium advocating for responsible development again. I look forward to that. And so I thank you both for your service to Naperville, and I wish you the best of luck.
Councilman White.
Yeah, I'd just like to, wish both of you all the best of luck. I know this is not easy business. I tell you, when you're sitting out there, everyone has a lot of opinions as far as what you should do and decisions that should be made and so on. And then when you put yourself out there and say, I want to be part of the decision-making process, you're stepping it up to another level. And you realize that opinions aren't, it's one thing to have opinions, but when you have to sit up here and make decisions, things are a little bit tougher. It's a challenge, and I appreciate anyone who decides to put themselves out there like that. You are divorcing yourself at some level from your family, from other commitments, because of the time commitment that it takes to do this. And it's not just these meetings that that you see us at, but we're constantly meeting with community members, developers, folks who want to do business here in Naperville. So it's a challenge, tough work, and I definitely appreciate your all's ability to get out there. And that's not just the two folks that are leaving, but all of us that are up here, types of things that we have to work with. You know, and when you're making a decision that people don't like, oftentimes you hear about it. And then you have people that just don't like it, period, they'll let you know about it. So it's just, it's appreciative work, it's tough, and I appreciate anyone that wants to get up here and put themselves on the line for that. So best of luck to the whole of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to Councilman Young and Councilwoman Taylor for serving for 4 years. It's no small feat. Like Jennifer said, we spent a lot of time on the phone, so I'll get some extra minutes in my month. It's the only positive for me. But I will miss having you up here. You're someone I can count on to do the work, read the agendas, meet with residents, meet with businesses. And then we went back and forth on that in all sorts of ways. And you talked to others on council, I talked to others, we talked, trying to find some places to meet in the middle. So it was a really good collaborative process. I'm just having that with you, especially just a few particular issues. I'm thinking there's so many. Some are really big, some are small, some in the middle. I'm thinking about chickens. I'm thinking about traffic in the downtown neighborhoods, and I'm thinking about the intellectual and developmental disability housing down in South Naperville. That's a true accomplishment that we both really work together to make happen. So thank you for doing all of that and for serving our city. Councilman Young, we didn't talk as much as Jennifer and I spoke, but we did sometimes, in particular on developments. I know residents, especially in South Naperville, really count on you as someone we trusted to look out for their best interests, and we worked on some of those things. And I think the singular thing that I appreciate most and looked up to you about is, and probably all elected officials, we've got a lot in this room, myself included, could learn from you to speak less, right? And when you speak less, sometimes the words that you use mean more, because people take that approach, they really mean it. It's important when they speak up and say something. So I'll try to follow suit. I'll just say thank you to both of you, and best wishes with everything you do moving forward.
I'd like to ask Councilwoman Roseanne Taylor for a motion to adjourn sine die.
Motion to adjourn, CA. DA. Motion to adjourn, CA, DA.
Councilman Leon?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn sine die. Roll call.
Worley.
Yes.
Holzhauer.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Leon.
Aye.
Longabaugh.
Aye.
McBroom.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. White.
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Motion passes 9-0. This time, I'm going to ask our outgoing members of the council to step down, including our council members who are to be sworn in. And now we will start with the swearing in of the new council. We will begin with Councilman Benny White, who will be sworn in for his third term by the Honorable Judge Vincent Cornelius. Councilman White.
having been elected to the office of City Council
to the office of City Council
in the city of Naperville,
in the city of Naperville,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties
the duties
of the office
of the office
of City Council
of City Council
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Council.
All right.
We'll have a good photo, please.
Next, Mary Gibson will be sworn in by the Honorable Judge Jennifer Barron. Councilwoman-elect, please come forward with the
Okay, why don't you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Mary Gibson,
I, Mary Gibson,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of City Councilwoman
to the office of City Councilwoman
in the city of Naperville,
in the city of Naperville,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Councilwoman
the duties of the office of City Councilwoman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Next, Councilman Holzhauer will be sworn in for a second term by the Honorable Judge Bonnie Wheaton. Councilman Holzhauer.
Thank you. And for my swearing in, we're doing something a little non-traditional. So all family members come up here, elected officials, supporters. You got an invite. Come on, stand behind me. We'll do this. Make it work.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ian Holzhauer,
I, Ian Holzhauer,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of City Councilman
to the office of City Councilman
in the city of Naperville,
in the city of Naperville,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of City Councilman
of the office of City Councilman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. You know, Ashfaq's Rayed will be so
Everybody should go. Hello, man.
Repeat after me. I, Ashfaq Sayyid,
I, Ashfaq Sayyid,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of City Councilman
to the office of City Councilman
in the city of Naperville,
in the city of Naperville,
in the counties of DuPage and Will,
in the counties of DuPage and Wells,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Councilman
the duties of the office of City Councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
Help me God.
Inshallah.
Can we have an official picture with all the elected people in front? Please, sir, please. All the elected people, can you move a little bit back? Sir, please. Sir, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, madam. Sorry, hello. Where is my? Hello, please. Just 1 minute, my video. Hold on. One more, please. 10 seconds. Only 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1.
Okay, let's convene the new city council by calling this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Worley.
Hilltower. Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Leon. Longabaugh.
Here.
McCrone.
Here.
Syed.
Yes.
White.
Here.
Wilson.
Here. At this time, I'd like to ask our newly sworn council members if they would like to make any public comments on the record. We'll begin with the order that they were sworn in. Councilman Light.
Well, first, I just want to thank Judge Vince Cornelius for swearing me in today. In 2018, Judge Cornelius became the first African-American elected judge in Will County, serving our community. And Kim and I are just grateful to you and Zena in our friendship. So thank you so much for doing this for us today. To the the residents of Naperville, thank you for trusting me to continue serving you. I may not have always gotten it right, but I showed up, I listened, I led with values that guide me every day: integrity, selfless service, and a deep love for this city. To the current council, thank you for your continued service and commitment. And to the newly elected colleagues, congratulations. Every election since 2017 has added to Naperville's rich and growing history of representation, making it more reflective of the people we serve. In this election, Mary Gibson is a reminder that representation matters. Her leadership, experience, and perspective bring valuable voice to this dais. Also in this election, Ashfaq Syed became the first Indian and Muslim council member. Represents a significant step forward. His passion and commitment will serve the community well. In 2021, Ian Holzhauer brought thoughtful, principled leadership and helped expand what representation could look like in Naperville as one of the first council members of Asian descent. Also in 2021, now former Councilman Paul Leong, the first Chinese American elected to this body, helped pave the way for inclusive leadership, and I thank him for his service. And in 2017, I became the first African American and first person of color elected to this council. And folks, these aren't just historical footnotes, they matter. Representation matters. Our community deserves to look up here and see themselves. I promise I'll continue to champion that truth. Diversity on this dais is a strength.
Yes.
As I close, I want to thank those who mean the most to me. First of all, my campaign team. Too many names to list, but you know who you are. You believed in me, you pushed me, and you stayed the course. Thank you very much. To my Naperville, I'm gonna say family. You know who you are. Thank you for your friendship. You are my sounding board. Those moments of straight talk keep me grounded. I appreciate every one of you. To my military family, represented here today by Billy and Peggy Johnson and their daughter Keisha and her husband Tom. Captain Billy Johnson was my first commander in the Army. He and Peggy are mentors, they're friends, they're God-fearing people who always, and I mean always, do what's right when no one else is looking. To our childhood friend, Kim Crawford, this is a relationship that has spanned decades, from celebrating the births of our children to grieving the loss of loved ones. It stands as a testament to the strength and endurance of true friendship. To my father-in-law, Louis, who is the only person I know who loves the Kansas City Chiefs as much as I do. Thank you for welcoming me into your family and allowing me to marry your daughter. My sister Bridget couldn't be here, but her two beautiful daughters, my two nieces, are sitting right over there, and Ruthie and Victoria. I love you both, and thank you for coming in here from Kansas City. I really appreciate you. To my dad. I know he's here in spirit, and I thank you for inspiring me to always reach my full potential. love you for shaping me into the man I am today. Now they think I was gonna get all emotional up here, like, let it roll, huh? All right. To my kids, BJ and Logan, you are a constant source of pride. You are the epitome of good character, hardworking, excelling in your careers, and always finding ways to give back to your community. I'm proud of everything you've achieved. Being your dad is one of my greatest honors. Kim always likes to say, we hit the kid jackpot. And to my wife of almost 38 years, Kim, my high school sweetheart, you are the heart of our family. Your strength, your love, your resilience, your fierce protection of all of us does not go unnoticed. One of the hardest jobs in the military is being the spouse of a service member. And I would also add one of the hardest jobs in public service is being the spouse of an elected official. Your experience as an Army wife prepared you for this moment, and then some. I love you, and I love the life you built. And then finally, thanks to everyone here for being there today. As I enter into my final term as your city councilman, I will continue to focus on doing what's best for Naperville. Now let's get to work. Thank you all very much.
Councilwoman Gibson.
Thank you. I've given a lot of thought about what I wanted to say here today as I start my 4 years serving as your Naperville City Councilwoman. 4 years that I'm sure will feel like they go by in a blink of an eye. I'm incredibly honored to be sitting in this seat and serving our community in this role. I'm grateful to everyone who helped me get here, especially my family, my husband John, my kids Josh, Samantha, and Emma, and my parents Paul and Cindy. I'm grateful for my friends, neighbors, my campaign team, who put so much of their time, talent, treasure, but most importantly, their trust into their confidence that I would be a good steward of their interests, well-being, and hopes for our city. Today is not about us on the dais. Today is about you, our community, and the hope, trust you put in us to listen, to learn, and to lead. As elected officials, we hold positions. Positions many have held before us, and many will hold long after us. We hold space. And while we hold this space, it's our job to maintain what we have here in Naperville while we build for the future. To foster a Naperville where every member of our community has a place and a voice. And to build a community where meeting the needs of the many doesn't come at an undue cost to the few. Where we protect and build on our success without passing the burden of today's decisions on to future generations. Naperville's always been a city of leadership. From building one of the earliest municipally owned electric utilities in the state, to transforming our downtown with a beautiful riverwalk, to becoming a model for smart energy and environmental stewardship. Naperville's never been afraid to lead. I look forward to carrying on that strong tradition by ensuring that we're always looking for ways to do better and be better, by embracing creative ideas, pursuing data-driven solutions, and learning what has worked and hasn't worked in other communities so we can make the best decisions for Naperville. As a city council, we can respect, cherish, and maintain our history and the projects and processes that have made Naperville the great city it is today, while still making space for new voices, new ideas, and new faces that have joined our community and have so much to offer. Naperville thrives when we remember we all have a place here. Whether we've been in town 40 years or 4 months, we all have gifts to share and roots to grow. As a council and as a community, we may not always agree. We may debate the best path forward or disagree on the best steps it takes to get there. But we must never lose sight of the fact that we're all striving toward the same destination. A strong and thriving Naperville where each of us feels like we have a place. So as I begin this term, I do so with a commitment to listening, to learning, and to leading. Leading with empathy, with intention, and with a deep belief in the power of this community. I'm looking forward to working with my fellow elected officials on the dais, the professional staff who have dedicated their career to the city, and all the members of our community who call Naperville home. Thank you.
Councilman Alzheimer. Thank you, Mayor. Leadership is about giving people something to believe in that's bigger than themselves. And now, more than ever, we need to believe in America and we need to believe in Naperville. We set an example in this community which can be seen in our county, in our state, and indeed our country in a time where, honestly, things in our democracy seem like they've never been before. When I was elected 4 years ago and I was sitting up here, I took the oath of office on a Bible. It was actually a Civil War Bible, Neighbor Settlement. And it was a symbol of a Naperville resident at that time who had carried that through one of the most divisive periods in our nation's history and helped rebuild through this community, this wonderful community of Naperville in the 1860s and 1870s. 4 years later, I feel that some of those challenges are still here today in our community. I'm very proud, though, of the things that we have done together over the last 4 years. Some of them, the creation of housing opportunities for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. That was something that was just a dream of a group of parents in our community who have been full-time caregivers for their adults, for their children with special needs. And as those parents were aging, they were wondering where those children could live when they passed on to another world. And a lot of creative thinking from a number of members of council. We had a great innovative idea selling city land to allow those family members to come live in this community, the only community they've ever known for their lives, for the rest of their lives. The approval of the historic mosque on 200 no zoning decision in the history of the city of Naperville has ever taken so much time. And I think it is a symbol of the progress in our community that after all of the division and all of the difficulty surrounding that, just a few years later, we have elected our first ever Muslim American City Council. And he is the first ever Indian American City Councilman, and I'm privileged that a couple of years ago I got the honor of being the first sitting city councilman to visit India on an official trip. And maybe more than anything, what made me proud there is how many people I met. People in positions of influence, elected officials, business leaders, who said, I know Naperville, I've been there, or I have a friend who lives there. That's a great community. Even across the world, people look at this place as an example and a shining city on a hill to model their communities off of, and I think that's something to be very proud of. Speaking of newly elected members of our council, I sit here with Councilwoman Gibson, the first elected official from Naperville ever to visit Africa on an official trip. I think also a symbol of our community's growing global reach, our recognition of the importance of different perspectives and how far we've come. I want to thank my family, my guests here. I'll just go left to right. Jurgen, my dad, Allie, my stepmom, Jack, Katie, Scarlett, Peter, their mom, Julie, got Aaron and Jameson, and so many other people I can't name here today. All the elected officials who made it out here. It is truly a life of service that you have chosen. It is not an easy job. I have so much respect. I always have, but after 4 years of doing it, even greater amount of respect for all you do for our community and our country. And there's so many selfless servants in this room. And with that, I'll close, and she doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I'm actually going to look at the person who's sworn me in, Judge Bonnie Wheaton. So when I was a kid growing up in Naperville, a little kid, my first concept ever of political campaigns was seeing actually Judge Wheaton's signs in my neighborhood, because she was a young judicial candidate at that time. And I had no concept of this at this time, but really a trailblazing woman in the legal field who's expanded that opportunity to so many judges, including other ones who are sitting in the room today. But I'll always remember when I was in the Young Lawyers Division, which I know I qualified for, but when I was in the Young Lawyers Division in the DuPage County Bar Association, I went to a speech of Judge Wheaton's, and she said that in her moments of solitude, she likes to walk out in the pond in front of the courthouse and look at the beautiful swans out there, because they look so graceful on the surface, but below the water, you know they're looking like hell. And I will never forget that. I appreciate your service, and thank you to this community. I am so proud to serve you.
Councilman Syed.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council members. Thank you, outgoing City Council members, for your service for Naperville. My name is Ashfaq Syed, Naperville City Council member. I started my journey in the US 8 years ago as an immigrant, as a father, as a son, as a community member, and Naperville has accepted me, warmly welcomed me with both their hands. And we made Naperville as our home with my wife Aisha and 2 kids. Today, I'm humbled. We all talk about dreams, and I am seeing that dreams coming true. 8 years ago, I never dreamed about City Council member. I used to visit this chamber. I used to visit Mayor's chamber as a community member to see I can learn something from the leaders who have been serving this community, this city for many, many years. But never thought that I will be sitting here on this chair one day. But things have changed. All good things happen. So 8 years ago, when I got into this place, I told to myself that I will be somebody who wants to help the community and learn from the great leaders. And today, I have learned a lot of things. I'm still learning from Naperville, from great leaders, from there, City Council members, everybody. So thank you so much to each and every person who made me today a City Council member. Without your help, without your guidance, without your encouragement, I think I could have not been here. Thank you so much for that. Dear friend, Mr. Linda Davenport, whom I met at a wedding 7 years ago, to my very good friend Azam Nizamuddin. And from that day till date, we have been great friends. And I requested Justice Linda Davenport, is it possible, can you help me to get my oath? She said, Ashfaq, I am there. Thank you so much, Justice Linda. Good afternoon, Naperville City community members. First and foremost, I would like to thank God Almighty for blessing me with the opportunity to serve you all. I'm excited, I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I will be representing each and every person from the dais. I want to express my deepest gratitude to my parents, my late father, who I know who is watching from top, who is watching me, who has been watching me always. He passed away 4 years ago, and he was the person who brought me today what I am today. He is the person who guided me, coached me, engaged me in civic work, and that's why I am here today. Thank you, Dad. Thank you what you made me today. I cannot thank my mom. She is somebody who is like a mountain to me in my career, from my childhood. And my mom is sitting there in front of me. make you proud, ma'am. One day. Today I feel I'm honored and hope she knows that I'm making her proud today. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. To my beautiful wife, Aisha, who has been a rock to me always in our 23 years of wedding. We got married, we both come from a different culture, different language, different cities, different countries, but we got married and we have been living a great life for the last 23 years. And this is what is family, I can say. And she got adjusted to me personally with my food habits, with my language, with my culture, everything. Thank you so much, Aisha, for being with me like a rock star. And I have missed many dinners in the last 2 years. On the table with my Aisha, with my kids, Aman, Julia, and Amar. And they have never ever complained about that. Never. 2 years, not 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months. It is more than 2 years. And thank you so much for all your help. And because of you, my family, my brothers who are here, I've got 6 brothers and 2 sisters. And I can see 5 brothers are here right now with me, who lives in Greenfield and Naperville area. And one of my other brothers, Arshad Sayed, who is visiting from Charlotte. So thank you so much, Mike, for joining us with your family. I wrote 10 pages of speech, but I will try to make it into 2 pages. To my dear residents, I think I met you at different events, at different meetings, because I'm somebody who want to be engaged, who want to learn from you all. Thank you so much for your help, support, engagement, and guiding me through this years. And I am really humbled that you have put in me to serve our city. Thank you so much for that. So there is a saying, give the best you have to the world, and the best will come back to you. And I can see that. I can see that. 2 years ago, I ran for the same city council position, and I lost 20 pounds of my weight. And my wife says, I think you should run for it. I cannot run for it. So running for office is not easy. I used to see, when people running for office, I used to help, support. And I used to find good, when you're helping, supporting. But when I ran, I realized how much it takes. And thanks to all the selected officials who have been serving the country, serving the community, serving the city, because they are the people who are representing us by sacrificing personal family time of ours. Thank you so much. This time when I ran, I lost only 10 pounds of weight. Why? Because I worked hard and smart. Last time I was working hard, but this time I decided that I need to work smart also. So I lost 10 days. Thank you, Aisha. So there is a saying, hard work always pays off. And we see always hard work pays off. And when I was running for office, I was reading a lot of material. And I was telling to one of my professors, if I would have read during my college days, I would have done my PhD. And now I think I'm in the process of doing my PhD. So thank you so much, Naperville. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to serve this community, to serve the city, and I'm always there. Most of them have my social media page, which is very, very active in the community for the last 13 years. I'm available on my email, on my text message, and cell number. Please call me, engage me, write me, and I'm always here to listen to you all and help you all and help me to serve this next 4 years for the community. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be very short, but just want to say congratulations to the 4 winners of this election. Councilman White and Holzhauer, obviously we've been doing this for a little while. It's hard to believe. At the same time, it feels like Councilman White, we've served together for 6 years. On one hand, it feels like it's gone really fast, and on the other, it feels like 60 years sometimes, both at the same time. And Councilman Holzhauer, we've known each other for more than 10 years now. We were just saying the other day, right? Long before we were doing this.
And we haven't aged at all.
Yeah. It looks a little different probably than we do at early 30s and early 40s. It's an aging job being up here, but a lot of good work we've done over the last few years, and a lot more to come. New Councilwoman Gibson, very happy to have you up here with us. I know you'll do a great job and work hard. I don't know if you remember the first time we met. I remember was at meet and greet, and I think you didn't have any trouble coming right up to me and said, "Who are you and why are you running? And what are you going to do?" So I know you will ask the hard questions on everything and do your homework and had a great job. And new Councilman Syed, same thing. I think we met at someone else's meet and greet, and you said, "Who are you running for city council?" You know what? And we had a great conversation right away, and I've seen the work we've done over the past 6 years in a variety of ways. Makes all the sense in the world, and you're up here, and you're going to do a great job as well. So I think we've got a great new council. Looking forward to everything we'll do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome new council members, Ashfaq Syed and Mary Gibson. I have so enjoyed getting to know you over the last 4 years, and I'm excited about serving with you on the dais. I love being on the city council, and I hope and think you will too. At this inauguration 2 years ago, I made a promise that I would show up for the residents of Naperville, and I have no doubt that you both will show up as well, because I've seen you at the same parades and events and meetings that I've attended to as well. Mayor, I hope we have some dancing in everybody's future. Ian Benny, I look forward to serving with you for another 2 years. I know that Naperville benefits from your leadership and experience. We do have a lot of work ahead of us to deliver for all of you, the residents of Naperville. I am proud to be on Team Naperville and serving with all of you. And to again quote the great Leslie Note of Parks and Recreation, when you love something, you don't threaten it, you don't punish it, you fight for it, you take care of it, you put it first. So let's get to work.
Well, this new city council, I want you to just take a moment, take it all in, look out, see the people who got you here, and who we are all responsible to. We live in the #1 city in America. Look at all this. #1 urban city to raise a family, the #1 city for the schools, the healthiest city in America. All these things because of all we do in this room. And as listeners and members of this new city council, I hope you take it seriously every day, as I know you will, to make sure we stay on top. That is going to be our job as we go forward over the next couple of years, and make sure that everyone in Naperville has a voice and is heard. Thank you all for being here today. And to our professional staff, thank you for putting this wonderful event together. They did a great job. And thank you. I appreciate you all being here on this very special day. And with that, Councilman White.
Mayor, make a motion to adjourn.
Councilman Jones.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Worley,
Yes.
Gibson,
Yes.
Holzhauer,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Longabaugh,
Aye.
McBroom,
Aye.
Syed,
Aye.
White,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Motion passes 9-0. We are adjourned.